Alright. Unfortunately, I couldn't get YouTube chat to work. I was trying to use a different app and at least maybe try and sign into YouTube, but what do you call it? We'll see. I don't know what to do. I can't figure it out. Trying to get me to put in some PIN number or something. I don't know what the hell. So we'll have to figure it out, I guess, at some point. Just not today. Real quick, I want to get some footage of this fly for the video, and then we're gonna fly fish for some perch. I don't know if there's anything around, but we'll try. All right. It is very low right now. I spent way too much time trying to work or sign into YouTube on this app, but just want to get some footage of this fly real quick. Clean off the lens. This has a nice little wiggle action to it when you strip it, with the articulation in the rear. Okay. Should be good enough. Throw a 5-weight for some white perch. I like how I carried this rod down just to do that. To film that. By the way, that's what I caught my largemouth on yesterday. Okay. This shit away real quick. I got my 5-weight. I got a rabbit strip jiggy I just tied up. Ooh, that Guinness is extra frothy. Papa Pit, what's up? Stream is clear on Twitch. Yeah, I started using Restream, so I'm actually streaming to YouTube and Twitch, and it's cleaner than it was before to just Twitch. Go figure. I can't see YouTube chat, unfortunately. That's something I'm trying to figure out, but all right. 5-weight. Fishing in Long Island, New York, in the South Shore. This is a salt pond. Hoping to find some white perch. So let me pull out. I got a little box with some tiny little flies I just whipped up. Well, welcome everybody on Twitch and YouTube. I got fish for like an hour or so. I was hoping to get both chats working, but I was having issues signing or like getting the right YouTube channel or something on Streamlabs, so I went back to Stream Elements. So I could stream to both platforms perfectly. I just can't see YouTube chat, unfortunately. So there should be a rabbit strip jiggy of some sort I tied over here, yeah. Try not to drop these in the water. I just jammed a bunch of perch. I tied a bunch of perch jigs and flies and threw them in there. Callie, nice. Yep, thank you, appreciate it. This is more so just to get out of the house. The striped bass show up here soon. That's our main thing that we chase, is striped bass throughout the year. They're going to show up in April at some point. So here's the rabbit strip jiggy thing I tied up. All right, sounds good. Well, we'll see you around. Yep, and I apologize, YouTube chat. Unfortunately, I can't see you guys right now, but I'll figure it out eventually. Let's tie a loop knot on here. I put a lot of lead wire in here too, so like it. Should have some nice jigging motion. I think I got like 10-pound leader material or 8 something fluoro. I think it's like some steelhead leader material I'm using right now or something. Thought I just heard a splash. I know there's a bunch of bait around right now, so. Alright, that should be alright. Somebody's getting pulled over. Okay. See what it looks like. Oh, that looks pretty good to me. Definitely gonna sink quick. I put a bunch of 0.035 lead wire in there, so inside that cone head. I want it to look like a worm bouncing on the bottom almost, you know? Funny thing is I can cast this farther than the ultralight because I have really crappy mono on there and stuff. So we'll probably actually better off with the fly rod than that spin rod. Using a little 5-weight line too, so I'm really getting it down there. With that heavy jig. Kind of do like little twitches. Let me push my phone in this camera holder better. Weedless. So check this out. Some old Reddington combo rod I have, but this is an old South Bend reel I bought at a fly show. So I use it on my little 5-weight. Let me see if I can. I feel like I'm gonna break my phone. That should be alright. My new phone's larger, so my camera mount, it's frozen from saltwater fishing. The threads are frozen in it. They got rusted shut. So I have to, it's like really hard to get my new phone with the OtterBox case in the thing. I think the case on my phone screws up the audio too, but I can't be breaking the screen, so. Oh man, this fly looks so good. If there's a perch around, they're gonna eat that thing. We're not getting any weeds on it either. It's fishing perfectly weedless. I'm using a freshwater largemouth bass jig hook. And, you know, so it's swimming upside down naturally. And then the rabbit strip, you puncture it. So the hook runs through the rabbit strip. And that's how you do the rabbit strip jiggy. Kind of like trying to think. I guess if you tied the rabbit strip upside down on a regular hook, there's some flies where it's high, low tie rabbit strip. It's kind of like that. Yeah, so I actually had some nice largemouth, probably up towards 3 pounds, maybe a little bigger, on the big Pyara fly. So it's good to know the fly works. My buddy's going for peacock bass and Pyara, so I tied those for him. Yeah, it's kind of annoying because my phone is like, there we go. I gotta be careful. I feel like I'm gonna bend my phone, like it's gonna physically bend. Manhandling it into this case. I gotta get a new chest mount. I'll just do little strips, like twitches. My confidence here is very minimal right now for white perch. We know they're here, but are they like feeding in this area? But I just caught some nice largemouth yesterday, so my confidence level is a little bit up than it was. We're already off to a better start in the fishing season than last year. Let some more line out. Let me stretch this line. It's been sitting for a long time. So we almost have enough of a little current here. Almost got a little swing going, but the unfortunate thing, I never really get enough current here to have like a wet fly swing presentation. Now, what else could be in here? I don't think there'd be fluke this time of year. I've really never caught anything down here this time of year, but we never really try. We've come down in the winter in like early March because we have a feeling that there's definitely a white perch in here. They've caught them in nets while shiner fishing, so we know for a fact they're here. But we had one follow a lure once in the winter, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility we can catch one. But if I can get a bite or something, that'll raise my confidence level a lot more that we're onto something here. This is kind of unexplored territory. Now, somebody told me a long time ago, some old timer told them there used to be sea run trout that came right through this exact spot, but supposedly many moons ago, but I don't know about that. We're pretty much fishing a sea run trout fly. It's very similar to the slump buster, just upside down, which is a fly that my mod Jin ties. Throw some fast retrieves in there every once in a while too, you know. God, that fly looks good. That should do the job. Mark Sadati was fishing a rabbit strip jiggy yesterday. That's his go-to for freshwater, I guess, and he was doing good with some largemouth and some panfish. I want to like fish this really slow. I'm not getting any weeds either, so I wonder if I'm just not getting down deep enough or just fishing good. You can kind of do like little boop, boop, like that. Like it's a little worm drifting in the tide. Oh, I would love like a nice 1 pound white perch or something. 1 or 2 pound perch. The herring will start coming in soon. Pretty certain there's herring that run through here. I know we get shad, but you can always catch one of those as well. It's probably going to be like 2 or 3 weeks, and then striped bass will be in here, coming in from the ocean. Which this Friday I got a new video for coming out on YouTube for the philosophy behind picking a fly for striped bass while fishing. Going over the kind of 4 pillars of where to start, and then the next episode after that, which I got to work on, will be like more specifics for certain flies for certain times, giving examples and how water temperature, times a year, boat activity, everything can affect where you're going to be fishing and what flies maybe. I guess theoretically I could probably, it should be almost something where it's like a mix of choosing a fly and fishing, but I guess I can always milk it and make more videos. Because really, in reality, when it comes to like fishing, you can make a video just on wet fly swinging for striped bass and grease line, dead drifting, whatever. Searching, like throwing bangers or gurglers or big bulkheads, pushing water, trying to see if you can get a fish's attention. More like a searching fly as opposed to a match the hatch fly, you know? I don't know, I gotta figure out. I'm used to tying tutorials, so these are new formats of videos for me. I wonder what happens if I throw some, what do you call it? Throw some men's in there so it sinks maybe a little better, because I am getting a, probably more so the wind, maybe incoming tide as well. The start of incoming, we're getting a little drift going on. Put some slack in the line so this thing sinks easier. Should be deeper. Just gotta watch out. There's these munweed. It's all this nasty looking weed that gets coats your fly line very easily, so you gotta watch out. Like I got a piece right now. There you go. Honestly, makes striper fishing really annoying early in the year. I wanted to come down earlier while the water was warmer, because we've had this sun warming the water all day. That's one of the reasons we went and fished that lake yesterday. We've had this nice warm water from the sun, some rain with like pretty fairly good temps, so it wasn't freezing rain. There's some white perch in here. They might be cruising around looking for some food. Then again, sunset is like the time you want to fish most of the time. I don't care. Generally, it doesn't matter what species. Sunrise, sunset's always good, changing of the light. We'll see. It's funny, I was fishing with Mark Sadati yesterday, and I was like, get it right in the grass there. Watch, you'll see. I'm telling you. And boom, he's like, Mike, he goes, Mike is, but it's just funny because he's like, we should go here. And I'm like, we should go there. And we're doing this. And like, what my reasoning and logic behind doing things, you know? And he's like, you're really going to throw that big fly? I'm like, yeah, well, let's try it, this, that. And it was just interesting, how different fishermen approach, what do you call it? Approach a body of water differently. And we both were right in our own ways. It was interesting. Something just boiled right there. It was probably bait, but still, not very deep. Definitely got bait and stuff like that. Is there any perch around? There's a channel right here because this is like the only connection to this pond, so it's dredged out for boats. But it goes shallow and then it just drops off right in front of me. So we have this nice drop off point, which is a perfect little ambush spot for game fish. Because all the little crabs and shrimp and spearing hang out on this area, and they get swept into the deeper area, and then the bass stripers will come up and just eat them. A lot of times I'll pause my fly right on the edge over here, and that's when I'll get eats from striped bass. There's a lot of times the striped bass will be at night, like right on this edge, and there's like little shrimps or crabs, or like there's like a school of bait fish that hangs out by the bamboo flagpole, and the bass will just be popping like right there. It's crazy. It's really hard to fish right there too, which is unfortunate because it's covered in barnacles. You don't want to get your fly line on there; it'll just cut you off. But they didn't used to have that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory where the point is. So I'm kind of not happy that they put that in there a couple years ago because it ruins like this area of casting. You know what I mean? Because it's just far enough out in really like depth mud that you can't like put the rod around it and fight a fish. Because if you walk out that far, you're just gonna get stuck. You're gonna need like a truck, or what do you call it? A winch to pull you out. We get those areas on Long Island where, in the estuaries, where it's just like tens of thousands of years of dead aquatic plants and stuff, and it's like this death mud. You walk through it, and all this methane or all this gas is coming out from all the decomposing marine life from probably thousands of years that have settled into these troughs and all this. It gets filled in with this like really soft sediment. Dude, come on, let me get a perch. No matter what, I came down and I got some. I had to film this one fly anyway, so get some footage of it. But I mean, I'm probably that big brush fly that I tied for my buddy Jeff, the Pyara fly. I recorded it. Probably took like an hour and a half to film, but I'm probably gonna wait because I mean, I have so many other videos that I need to do. I already have pretty much this whole week's videos are recorded. I just need to do the voiceover for Sunday's video. Monday and next week, I'm gonna probably start recording tonight. And my buddy Jeff is going like tomorrow. He's leaving for this trip, so I'm hoping he gets photos maybe this week, upcoming week, out there with some peacock bass or pyara, and then I can include that in the video or some footage because that would be awesome. Oh, felt some resistance there. Could have been munweed. My line came tight for a second. I don't think it was a fish, but I was looking over. There's a terrapin turtle. Popped his head out. I got distracted. once I start coming down here and striper fishing, you'll see there'll be like 10 terrapin turtles, and they just come up and they just stick their head out of the water and they just watch you. They're like very inquisitive animals. And the terrapin is like it's a protected turtle species. I guess, I don't know if they're technically turtles. I think we looked into it. I think terrapin is its own species of aquatic, of an amphibian or something, but I don't know. Maybe they are considered a turtle. I think we looked into it, but they were apparently like over hunted or something, and they put strict regulations, and now there's a ton of them in here, which is awesome. And I think what they do is they trap them and they eat them. Terrapin in other places. They are a turtle. What's going on, Craggerroll? Only ones that go from fresh and saltwater. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna mispronounce this, but they're like the equivalent of a striped bass or a steelhead, Andromedus or something, or Anoramus, or I can never pronounce that word right. But yeah, Anamorphous or something, or I don't know. That's the term for fish that go to. I wonder if that applies for non-fish. Yeah, there's always a ton of terrapins in here. It's pretty cool to see. By the way, anyone on YouTube, I'm sorry, I put it in the title. I can't see chat on YouTube. So I tried setting it up for an hour. We actually would have been down here earlier when it was nice and sunny, but I could not figure it out. It was signing me into my Google and it wouldn't let me pick my, because I have multiple YouTube accounts. I have a like Warhammer D&D account almost essentially, Mike Rolls Dice, and I have my LI Flies mic. So I was like, how do I figure this out? Trying to get me to put a pin in, and I'm like, dude, what? So what I think I can do in the meanwhile is just until I figure this out, because right now I'm using a custom RTMP server, which means I'm using a service called Restream, and my computer's streaming to Restream, and then Restream is streaming to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously because my equipment can't handle it with just a phone, And so I'm streaming to both platforms, but I'm signed into the app that I'm using on Twitch, so it's only showing me Twitch chat. This app doesn't have multi-streaming. There's another app, Streamlabs, that does, but when I signed into YouTube there, it wouldn't let me access wouldn't let me try and get to my actual LI Flies mic channel. So I don't know what the hell's going on. But I guess what I could do is just every other stream, I'll switch over from YouTube to Twitch, and I'll just read one chat or the other. Next time we'll do YouTube chat, and Twitch chat I'll ignore. Because I don't know how else to do it. I have to research it, I guess. It's the joy of technology and live streaming. It's always figuring out why things aren't working, it seems like, with live streaming. But yo, Drim, what's up, man? How you doing? And a more, see, I can't say it. An Dromus, Anadra. Oh, I can't say it. I'm gonna have to go look it up, type it into Google or something. It's like crayon. I couldn't say the word crayon for how many years. My friends used to make fun of me when I was a kid because they used to say crown. Yo, hand me those crowns over there. Crayon. What is it, like French or something? And Anadromus? Anadromus? Is that how you say it? Anadromus? Anadromus. I thought it was like a non. No, I was definitely saying it wrong no matter what, so I'm not going to try and think what I was saying. Endomorphous? Anadromous? Anadromous. Nads, like gonads. Anadromous. Ah. You see? This is why you have Twitch chat. Sorry, YouTube. They're my Webster dictionary. Anadromous. 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 All right, everyone type it out. Anadromous. Anadromous. The term for the area in between the balls and the butt on a polar bear. No, it ain't. No, so anadromous is the term for when a fish is able to cross through both fresh and salt. So like striped bass will do it for spawning. They'll go into freshwater. Or sometimes they're even the eggs are, they're laid in freshwater riverbeds and places like that where the substrate is the right area, and then the fish will go out. They'll hatch. They'll like go out to the ocean and go to estuaries and start maturing. And steelhead are similar. There's the reverse where I guess they kind of spend their early years in freshwater, right, like a river, and then they go out through bays and stuff out into the ocean, live out in the ocean. That's how a rainbow trout becomes a steelhead. Anadromous. I Googled. All right. Well, you didn't have to tell us that, Jim. I was actually going to say Cracker Roll. That's on you for not explaining it better. But you just took a little heat off Cracker Roll, so good on you, Jim, all right, for coming out and telling the truth. Yeah, you got to say Nads. What's going on, Splitters? I'm just messing around. Anadromous. Well, look at that. It only took like probably 5 years of me trying to say that word on stream. Well, now the real true test is when I randomly bring it up like a month from now while I'm fly tying and streaming. Can I say it? All right, the gloves got to go on. Starting to lose feeling in the hands. By the way, rabbit strip jiggy looking thing.